Greetings, Terrence. This is Mr. Smock, Vulcan Cultural Officer, with a review of a Netflix TV series this time. Together with Vincent, we will be talking about the opening episode of Black Mirror Season 4 called the USS Callister. What is Black Mirror about? Vincent, you've followed Black Mirror for a number of seasons. Perhaps you can share with us what is the concept behind Black Mirror?
The best way I can describe it that the general public understand is basically sci-fi Twilight Zone. Twilight Zone is a classic TV series that it's an anthology series in the sense that every episode is really a different story. It doesn't really connect, and the story usually they explore a strange concept. Like there's all this very weird storyline going on, and character find themselves in weird situation, and there's always that twist ending. So Black Mirror, I call it a sci-fi Twilight Zone because the focus is on technology. Actually, no, sci-fi Twilight Zone is not correct. Sorry, it's more like a technology's Twilight Zone in the sense that they explore the perils of technology. How our society today is very obsessed with Facebook, social media, how our dependency on AI and technology has kind of eroded, I guess, our quality as a human in a way. You see, we are more reliant on machine than ever. Can we imagine a world where we don't have a smartphone or internet? I honestly can't imagine. I'll go mad without checking my phone every 15 minutes. So you see, I am a slave to the machine now.
That being the case, it's also, I find, a social community on humanity's dependence on technology, which that dependency can also go out of control.
Yeah, says the alien that gave us warp technology.
We did not give, you discovered it yourselves during first contact. We just happened to be flying by the neighborhood.
We kind of discovered it and then you gave us the technology to expand. Yes.
We guided your development. But we are still talking about the future, and I'm coming back to the past, coming back to the present. So Black Mirror Season 4 launched with this episode called USS Callister. In the promo materials and trailers, it was depicted as very much a spoof of my Star Trek universe, of the most exaggerated comedic elements. I think a very good parallel is that to the method of alternate type of serialized sci-fi known as Galaxy Quest. And the promo materials for the episode kind of suggested that the episode would be a spoof of my namesake Star Trek universe. But it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what it was.
Perhaps you can share on a brief synopsis without getting too much into the spoilers.
Okay, sure. I mean, like our alien friend here, I saw the promo for it and I thought, wow, it's a Star Trek parody episode. Their version of Star Trek is called Space Fleet. Yes.
Space Fleet with the captain on a starship.
Yes, that looks weirdly, suspiciously like William Shatner DNA crossed with Matt Damon.
That being the lead character, which is
Robert Daly, played by Jesse Plemons.
So if you imagine if you have William Shatner and Matt Damon in a transporter accident and blended together, you get Robert Daly. So there is a certain classic look towards the ship and the bridge with
the costume,
an assortment of officers. But in fact, during the progression of the episode, it's also worth saying it is not exactly a short episode. The episode spans approximately 70 minutes.
It's like 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Yes, it's like a feature-length film.
Yes, it's like a feature-length film, and could very well be so. And we find that what we are watching is in fact, in a way, a virtual reality fantasy set in some aspect of our modern day or the near future, whereby our Robert Daly plugs into a system and has his space fleet adventures. Sounds innocent enough until it leads to the replication of real life people into
A
his
virtual
virtual
world
universe.
where he has control of everything. He's like this tyrannical god that can, he can do as he wishes by the flick of a finger. Because
So-
he's the programmer, he's
And he's recast in a way, is it cast? No, recast his lead characters from real people in his workplace, which do not necessarily respect and acknowledges him.
Yeah.
Despite him being the joint partnership of what is seen to be a breakthrough technological entertainment company.
Callister is called the company actually.
The company is called Callister,
Yes.
but the virtual reality game is
Infinity.
called Infinity. Yes, which deals with
It's basically some VR, very immersive MMORPG.
kind of like Star Trek Online, a very much more advanced version, where you literally plug some interface onto your forehead and you are immersed into that world.
It's like Space Matrix when you think about it.
Yes, also a very advanced holodeck.
That too, apparently. Oh, never mind. That would be spoiler territory. I was going to say something.
Without trying to spoil our audience, what is your take of this episode?
Oh, admittedly, it wasn't what I was expecting. From the promo, I thought it would be a funny episode. And mind you, they had Black Mirror, despite the premise, they are not all downers. I mean, they are its fair share of downer episodes, but there's also some very funny one, like.
Would you like to share your rating of it?
Oh yes, yeah.
Without going into spoilers.
Yeah, like I was saying, I thought it was going to be a spoof, a comedy, but things turned 180 really, really quick. I actually love it. I mean, I honestly, I was expecting a lighter episode, but I went with it, and I would definitely give it a 4 out of 5. Definitely one of the stronger episodes.
Among the Black Mirror seasons,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so that means that does warrant a look, but if you are a fan of Star Trek and was expecting a light-hearted parody, that was not what the episode was about.
Although to be fair, there were its share of funny scenes in a darkly humorous way.
Dark humor.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of Star Trek, especially TOS, there are a lot of reference. There's even reference to J.J. Abrams at the end.
The so-called Easter eggs for Trekkies.
Yeah, definitely a lot of it. Like, you can tell those who wrote it, they are definitely Star Trek fan. That's for sure.
Let's get into the spoilery bits of this episode. Vincent, you have a few things to say.
Yeah, okay. It started off funny, I mean, at least when the first scene literally opens like a TV show, the way it's done. Like,
Looks very retro as well.
yeah, very retro, like they were attacked by what looks like a Klingon warbird. Wait, what's it? Yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah,
Some
it
sort
looks
of
kind of like
alien
that.
spaceship.
Yeah, and then the bad guy, wow, that looks like Khan. And then, Robert Daly, the main character, he's just acting like he's Captain Kirk. He looks like Captain Kirk, and Matt Damon made a love child. And then the rest of the crew, everyone's just speaking like in a Star Trek show. And then they'll be attacked, and then of course, as usual, the captain came up with a solution to save the day. And then, of course, it ends on a happy episode where all the girls would just kiss him. They were like hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, 3 cheers for the captain.
Very much like a spoof of my universe.
Actually, I'm curious to hear from you. Like, what do you think of it actually?
In the sense that humans find strange forms of this need for entertainment and plugging into what is the ultimate virtual reality world can of course lead to what an underlying message is of cyberbullying.
Yes, it is about cyberbullying, in fact.
In the most extreme case, so having now talking about spoilers, what Robert Daly does is literally he copies his co-workers and inserts them into this virtual world. Of which in the virtual world, as the programmer, he is a god-level character and able to force down the throats, literally in some cases, of these co-workers who has been transported into this virtual world. Of course, they have not really been transported, but we assume that the methodology of bringing what is essentially a real person intact with all memories into this virtual world and become slaves towards the captain's fantasies.
I mean, mind you, those people in the real world, they're still in the real world, just that he made like a digital copy of them. And to the digital copy, they are the real people, you see. They are just like every bit as real as the real world copy.
Individual, sentient, AIs, artificial intelligence.
Except now that they are stuck in a virtual world where they are basically the captain's plaything. And everyone has to act and play the role because there was a new girl, a new co-worker who joined the company, Nanette Cole, and in a way, I guess Robert Daly took a liking to her and he duplicate her inside the system. And in the beginning, she wasn't on with the game, you know, so she refused to participate in any of the scenario. And with a flick of a finger, he removed her eyes, her face, like she couldn't breathe, she couldn't talk, she couldn't see, couldn't hear, I think. So, wow, and that really shocked her into just complying. And apparently, everyone went through the same thing. They were tortured and they were basically forced into this scenario, and if they don't do it, then worst thing happened. He actually turned co-workers into space alien. Yeah, like that has to play the role of a space alien. Wow.
So in a way, it's also, you know, Robert Daly sort of taking out his real life frustrations on these digital copies. But bear in mind, if you should understand that digital copies do not think of themselves as digital copies, but knowing they have real feelings, real emotions, but lived in the digital world.
Mm.
So as harmless or as inept as Robert Daly may seem in real life, he is a total megalomaniac in this virtual world.
And no doubt a genius, because he was the one who created the system for the game, for the whole virtual world. It was from his brain, but his partner, a more charming and sociable guy,
Walter, yes.
Yeah, James Walter, he played by Jimmy Smith from Westworld. This is funny, now that this was brought up. In a way, it's like a metaphor for the whole Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak relationship. How Steve Wozniak was the real brains behind Apple, but he's not a very sociable guy. He looked very awkward. He was kind of fat.
Charisma.
Yeah, and it was Steve Jobs that has the charisma, and he became the face of the company. And it's very sad because all Apple's success is mainly credited to Steve Jobs when it should be Steve Wozniak.
So we are digressing a bit. I think ultimately we may have felt some sympathy for Robert Daly, but then it's taken out. That disappears very soon as
he's such an asshole.
Yes, in this virtual world.
And he would do really horrible things just to make them comply.
But ultimately, all bad things come to an end, shall we say that? And
the new
virtual
inclusion.
AIs and the new bridge crew, shall we say, the new members of the new bridge crew member,
Nanette Cole,
works together with the older bridge crew, some of which has been in that virtual world for a very, very
decades,
long time,
apparently.
or a few years anyway, and work a scheme to foil Daly to escape, actually.
Oh, okay. Technically, it wasn't escaping. They were trying to get themselves killed so that
to end their
horrible
existence.
Yeah. So they came up with this plot point where apparently there's a wormhole that has shown up in space, and they thought by driving inside the wormhole they would get deleted.
And the wormhole is actually a patch.
And typically in real world, if the server detects malicious code, basically unauthorized upgrade, it would automatically delete it. And that was what they were hoping to achieve, because Space Fleet is actually an unauthorized patch mod to Infinity.
Great. Thank you very much. Black Mirror Season 4 is now available on Netflix to stream at your convenience. Thank you, Vincent. May the Force be with you.
Yes, live long and prosper, Mr. Smock. Okay, Star Wars should be.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Force choke. Death grip.
Yes.
Lieutenant Cole, welcome aboard. Crew, we have a new member of the team.
We meet again, Captain Daly! We're trapped.
Jesus.
Space Fleet never turns its back on those who need our help.
3 cheers for Captain Daly. Hip, hip, hooray! Hooray!